hour after allegations of inappropriate workplace behavior. The scandal shocked viewers and employees alike. As millions of Americans tuned in looking for answers, Guthrie found herself reporting on painful events involving someone she had worked beside for years. Rather than hiding behind carefully scripted statements, she addressed the situation with visible honesty and professionalism. She acknowledged both the heartbreak felt inside the newsroom and the responsibility journalists have to report uncomfortable truths, even when they involve colleagues. Many industry observers viewed that morning as a turning point. Instead of simply surviving the crisis, Guthrie helped restore stability to one of television's most recognizable programs. It's precisely this resilience that many believe earned Tom Brokaw's admiration. According to those familiar with Brokaw's perspective, his appreciation for Savannah Guthrie goes beyond ratings or popularity. He recognizes qualities that have defined exceptional journalists across generations. Her legal training allows her to conduct interviews with precision, carefully building questions that expose inconsistencies without unnecessary theatrics. Her calm presence helps audiences navigate breaking news without adding panic. Perhaps most importantly, she has adapted to a media environment dramatically different from the one Brokaw once dominated. Today's journalists face constant scrutiny through social media, instant online criticism, and an around-the-clock news cycle that never truly stops. Unlike earlier generations, modern anchors are expected not only to deliver information, but also to reveal enough of their personal lives to build trust with audiences. Guthrie has managed that balance remarkably well. She remains authoritative during difficult interviews while allowing viewers to see moments of vulnerability, humor, and genuine emotion. For someone like Brokaw, whose generation prized distance between the anchor and the audience, that evolution represents not a decline in journalism, but its adaptation. Although separated by decades, Brokaw and Guthrie share remarkably similar professional values. Both built reputations through preparation rather than personality. Both believe credibility must be earned every day. Both understand that public trust is journalism's most valuable asset. The methods have changed, but the mission remains remarkably similar. Where Brokaw represented the authoritative voice delivering history as it unfolded, Guthrie represents a more conversational approach that reflects today's expectations without abandoning journalistic integrity. Rather than viewing those differences as weaknesses, Brokaw appears to see them as necessary evolution. His praise isn't simply a compliment to one television host. It's recognition that quality journalism can survive even as the industry transforms around it. As Tom Brokaw reflects on an extraordinary career, his observations carry unusual weight. Few journalists have witnessed so many historic events firsthand, while also helping shape the profession itself. His willingness to acknowledge Savannah Guthrie's accomplishments signals something larger than simple professional respect. It represents a passing of the torch. The newsroom Brokaw entered decades ago no longer exists. Technology has transformed reporting. Audiences consume news differently, and anchors face challenges unimaginable during television's golden age. Yet the qualities that define lasting journalism, integrity, preparation, courage, and empathy, remain unchanged. In Savannah Guthrie, Brokaw appears to recognize those same qualities that sustain his own remarkable career. For viewers, that endorsement serves as a reminder that while journalism continues to evolve, excellence never goes out of style. The faces may change, the technology may advance, and the pace may accelerate, but the responsibility remains exactly the same. Tell the truth, earn the audience's trust, and continue showing up when the world needs answers most. Perhaps that's the greatest C. For more than half a century, Tom Brokaw represented the gold standard of American journalism. His calm demeanor, unmistakable voice, and unwavering commitment to reporting major world events made him one of the most trusted figures in television history. From the collapse of the Berlin Wall to presidential elections and global crises, Brokaw became synonymous with credibility. Now, at 86 years old, the legendary broadcaster has reached a stage in life where public expectations matter far less than honest reflection. Retirement has given him the distance to look back on the industry he helped shape and to observe the journalists now carrying that responsibility. Among them, one name stands out: Savannah Guthrie. For years, Brokaw rarely offered detailed opinions about the current generation of television anchors. Instead, he allowed their work to speak for itself. But recent comments have made one thing clear. He believes Savannah Guthrie has earned her place among the most respected journalists in modern broadcasting. His praise isn't simply about professionalism. It's recognition from someone who understands exactly what it takes to lead a national news program through some of its most challenging moments. Tom Brokaw's career unfolded during a very different era of journalism. Evening news broadcasts were appointment television, and millions of Americans trusted only a handful of anchors to explain the day's biggest stories. Born in South Dakota, Brokaw worked his way through local television stations before eventually joining NBC News. His determination, sharp reporting, and unmistakable delivery quickly separated him from the competition. During the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s, he covered many of history's defining moments. He reported on presidential administrations, international conflicts, the Vietnam War's aftermath, the Watergate era, and perhaps most memorably, the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. His reporting style reflected the standards of his generation, measured, disciplined, and intensely focused on facts. Television anchors were expected to project confidence rather than emotion. Personal lives remained private, and objectivity defined success. For decades, Brokaw helped establish NBC News as one of America's premier news organizations. His retirement from NBC Nightly News in 2004 marked the end of an era, but also marked the beginning of dramatic changes across the media landscape. While Brokaw was building one of television's most respected careers, Savannah Guthrie was following a very different path. Unlike many traditional broadcasters, Guthrie began as a lawyer. After earning her law degree, she practiced litigation before discovering that journalism offered another way to pursue truth and accountability. That legal background would eventually become one of her greatest strengths. When she joined NBC News, Guthrie quickly demonstrated an unusual combination of intelligence, composure, and accessibility. She could explain complicated legal issues in language everyday viewers understood while still asking probing questions during high-profile interviews. Those skills earned her increasing responsibilities until she eventually became one of the central faces of NBC's Today Show. Her journey, however, was anything but easy. Morning television demands versatility unlike almost any other broadcasting role. One moment requires covering international conflict or political debate. The next may involve interviewing entertainers, discussing health topics, or connecting with families watching from home. Guthrie learned to balance those very different responsibilities without sacrificing journalistic credibility. The defining test of Savannah Guthrie's career arrived in 2017. NBC faced one of the most difficult moments in its history following the sudden dismissal of longtime, today co-anchor Matt L.